Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I was just about to launch into episode 14, the stereo build. I think where we'd left off, we'd been putting the speakers in the doors and we're about to tackle the others and look in the back. So, but then something awesome happened. 500 subscribers. Thank you again. Thank you so much for those who watch. Thank you for those who comment. Had some great conversations with some of you over the last few weeks. I really enjoy getting those messages and seeing what I can do to help out. Not always going to be able to do that, and also great to see viewers helping each other on some of the comments as well. Thank you for that. So again, I just wanted to have a quick jump in and say thank you. It's nearly been a year since I started this channel. And when I looked at some of the targets Google set, I thought, wow, this is going to be an interesting challenge. But to be honest, it's not necessarily about that. For me, at first, it was about getting the content out there. And so for me to have reached 500 subscribers is just pretty awesome. Yeah, who knows where it'll go now. Certainly, I know some of you commented in the past that, maybe should have more, but who knows the way things go. I'm sure there's probably things I could do. In the early stages, I had a number of companies approach me about paying the money to make my subscribers go up, and I'm sure there's many ways I could do that sort of thing. But at the moment, I'm happy with the progress I'm making. And again, all of it's thanks to you. Thank you for watching, and I'm glad you found the content, and I'm glad you find this content interesting. So from here on in, again, part 2. We're starting to look at the rest of the speaker install. I was hoping to get this one out a little bit, so there's a few little teasers, there's a few other things arrived through the week, so I've got some speaker cables so that the next episode after this will hopefully get a little bit closer. Certainly coming along with the build in the back of the car as well. I've been having a look at how we calculate the space required for the subwoofer. So it's not, when you buy a subwoofer, it's no good just sort of buying one and then going, right, I'm just going to stick it in a random box. Speakers are designed to work in a certain environment. You can have a box that's sealed, or you can have one that's ported. And there are certain calculations you can go through to design that. I'm not going to get too detailed on that because I'm after a specific, some of the things you have to consider is a specific shape that you're working in the car and how much room you've got to work with. But I'm going to try and have a quick play with that and see if that can help us optimize it as much as possible. Still having a little bit of a consideration of what we do with the amps themselves, but I'm sure that'll come out in time. But anyway, enough of me talking, because otherwise the video will get massively long again. So thank you again for 500 subscribers. Here's the rest of part 2, putting in the speakers in the front door and starting to play in the back. Enjoy the content. Thank you. What's going on? So we've got this all in place. I've put a few extra screws in, but I'm still not completely happy. There's a bit of movement there where this is located. So the thought is I could just take this off and just bolt this straight into this, to be fair, but it's a matter of trying to make sure I've got space for this. Now the other thing I was thinking is this is got adjustments in it depending on where you want your tweeter level to be. So you either hide it in here and set it and then go, oh, if I don't like it, I've got to take everything apart. So we'll obviously probably listen to it before we maybe put the door cards back in. But I was just looking now as to see if I could mount it inside the door card. Of course, it'd be an extra connections once it's in there, but it might be worth a go. But so there's two things. One is, where's this going to go? And number 2 is, I really want this to be a little bit tighter than it is. I'm not happy with it. So I managed to get this side a lot tighter. I think I managed to get a screw there, but there's no real slots over here. So I'm going to have to get a bit clever, I think, and put something in there. But also after putting this in and putting sticky tape in, I found the foam pads that they sit in. I'm not sure. This may have been a slightly better solution of squishing it in there. It would have just been the tweeter sitting in here, but Anyway, we'll see about it on the other side. I mean, now that that's stuck in there, to be honest, it's going to be a bit of, should we say, fun to get it out. I mean, it'll come out, I'm sure, but the other thing I was considering with that is that's quite nice just by itself there like that. I was almost thinking of cutting that out around there, cleaning that up, and so you can see the nice black underneath. But I don't know. Obviously you need something still with this because of the, you know, you need to cover up that hole. But don't know. Anyway, it's been put in like that now. I'm sure it'll be fine, he says. Fingers crossed. We just got to make sure we match up the other side the same. And we'll see if those foam rubbers are any good. Pity I didn't find those before. I would have liked to have tried them, but anyway. Right, where are we at? Want to fix this in properly. Like I said, it's not. I can't really close this up because I need to run the cable through and work out whereabouts in the back it's going to go. Right, got a bit more time again, so back on trying to just see how all of the speaker system fits in. So the crossover here is designed to take out the bass level from the tweeter, because obviously that can't handle it. In behind this speaker there is a coil which also takes out the highs for here, takes them up into here. Now this also, you can change, this got a slight setting change on this. I don't know if you can see, pop this open, there's a little jumper in there, so you've got a plus minus 3 dB or 0 dB. We'll leave it where it is at the moment. I'm considering cutting these cables down a bit, because there's quite a bit here. And I don't really want to have all this cable floating around. I mean, I can tidy this up a bit, but you know, again, there's a lot. This is all, you know, I could really take quite a lot out of that. So we'll see. I haven't got any of these style connectors. I've got I have to use something slightly different. And then this cable is also massively long. It only has to go into the back of the speaker here. But first things first, what I want to see is just make sure that when we put the door card back on, that this isn't going to hit the door card. So let's get on and do that. just slow this back down to normal speed because there's something very interesting when I pulled this off. I don't know if you spotted it, I don't know if you saw it with the other one, but this door, very, very clean, right? Very clean. It was almost like it, some straight out of the factory. It's almost like this is the first time this door's been off. And as you can see from the inside here, we can see some weather marks here on the inside, just on this piece, the insert. But everything else is nice and clean. Nice and clean. And there is a difference, don't know if you've spotted it yet, between this one and that one. And that is this. There's a nice rubber seal all the way around this one, and there's nothing on the other one. So this, and not only that, noticing here, all the little holes here have been covered up, and on the other side, nothing. So that's interesting. So what's happened with this car with the previous owner, or was this just something the way it's built? I can't imagine it. But these covers are not there. So that's one thing to think about when we put the other side back together, is do that. But also, where can we get a nice seal like this? Get a rubber seal to go back in there to keep everything, all the weather on the inside. That's very interesting. But yeah, that's nice and clean, that is, isn't it? Anyway, enough drooling over that sort of stuff. We'll be taking one of these off anyway because we've got to get wires passed through there for the tweeter. But let's get straight back in. Put you on time lapse. This time, when we take this tweeter out, as I mentioned previously, what we're going to try and do is we're going to have a look at the this foam insert option. I'm not sure if I'll use it, to be fair, because I'll probably try and keep it the same. But I mean, if this works really well, you never know. Maybe I'll go back and take the other side apart as well. But this, I mean, it could be a nice option, but again, it's got to hold in the right position, because obviously the tweeter needs to be pointed at the driver, the passenger. Roughly this. Oh, something else I've just noticed. I'm going to have a quick look at this. And if you can see, yeah, you can. You should be able to see that. That is not good. That tweeter is gone. Something's gone through it at some point. Right, so probably a good thing that we're in here doing this up, because that tweeter, I'm sure, is wrecked. The cone has got a massive hole in it. Yeah. Anyway, never mind. It's being swapped out, right? So that can go. But I can't, in all honesty, sell that to someone now. So I was going to sell the whole speaker system, and I probably will. But obviously that tweeter is no good to anybody anymore. Right. Let's get back into that. Back on time lapse.
procrastinate about this all the time. We want this out, so let's rip off the band-aid. Right, while we're here, let's pull the other one out. Right, we'll go and clean that up. All the paint's come off it now. Nice little hole to the under the side of the car, but anyway, we'll go and clean these up. I have cleaned the other one up. There we go. Give it a bit of clean. We'll pop it back in there and yeah, give it some paint when it's underneath. I'm not quite sure how, because obviously there's a lot of stuff under there now, but we'll work something out. Alright, well, seatbelts are no good, so out they come completely.
Okay guys, hopefully you can see this, and it's really noisy again today, so hopefully the audio will be okay. So this is just temporary. I'm just putting a couple of lines across so I can actually start working out a kind of a pattern to work off to cut the piece of wood that's going to go in here. So this back section, the sides will be fairly straight, and then it's got to tuck sort of out to go out and cover all the bits down the side. Still contemplating about what I'll do on the sides. Where the speakers are going to go, I'll probably put a piece of wood up, not too dissimilar to what we've done in the doors, but probably a little bit more. Obviously with the door we've got to put the door card on. That's if that's what you're doing anyway, but I will be probably at this time. With the backs, there's quite thin metal there, so I will probably put a decent piece of wood in there and drop it all the way down the bottom. I may even try and make something work all the way around the car a little bit down the side, but we'll have a look and see what that looks like. Probably at the moment just a nice piece to go all the way down, and we're going to try and work out how we make the floor sit as close to possible as the side. So we're going to see what it looks like. For those who've seen Gonzo, the car, that's the Rat Rod Mini. So I was talking to Don, well I was pinging Don anyway, but the owner, that is. But one of the things, no, that's irrelevant. So if you've seen the video on Gonzo, the video, or seen images of it, he's got a nice slatted wood rear, and kind of not quite what I was looking for, but I do like it, I have to admit. I'm going something a little bit more solid because of what's going in here, but yeah, but kind of that concept. Maybe we'll see a little bit tighter, because I think he still had the plastic side panels in. I'm still not keen on putting the back in. They just take up a whole bunch of space and look ugly, so we'll see. I even contemplated taking these metal brackets off because they no longer do anything. They don't serve a purpose, so unless I end up using them for some form of bracing or something like that in the future, whether this car does get a half cage in it or something like that, they may be useful, but to be honest, we'll see. Right now they're staying in, but they're just in the way, to be fair. and they don't do anything. You know, they were there for the seat belts and for the rear seats to clip into. No longer using those. So, but let's see what happens in time. I'm just going to go and tape up the front now, and just see see if we can get that size right. So I could try and talk from here. I'm not sure how well you'll hear me. So the idea is, as well, with these markers, is I can measure out and then I can measure along. So I can measure from here to the end to work out at what point in the wood these dimensions fit, which will help to work out where the wood is going to change shape. There's probably a couple of different shapes here, and I'm not going to be too keen on doing all of that, but we're going to start somewhere, right? Alright, now tape measure, what did I do with that? So what I'll also do from here, what I was thinking is the boot release here, there's plenty of slack in here, so I might move that up here and have a little button pull that or something like that. Maybe get one of those break the glass things. Problem is you have to keep breaking the glass, you have to keep breaking in probably. Right, let's see. So we are 60 and a half. So there's our center right here. Right, so what we'll do now, okay, so what we'll do now, before all this sags, because this will sag over time, we're just going to get a small piece of wood, we'll measure everything up, write everything down, or a piece of paper, so we've got it sorted out, we know where we're at, and we'll go from there. Right, so not sure if you heard all that while I was speaking in there, but we'll go over it just quickly again. So we've got 3 markers across here now. We'll see if I may put one more in just to check something, but I think we should be okay. So now I can measure now from the side here to here, from there to the next tape, and from there to the next tape, and I can then mark out there. So first of all, nice piece of slate, wood, paper, doesn't really matter. What we can do, draw out a rough shape of what we're doing here. Doesn't really have to be too accurate, and that's going to come down a bit, and then it's going to, I probably do need to put another one in. What I'll do is sort of make it a little bit more dramatic than it is, just so I know what I'm looking at. Right, so here we have it, and we have a piece of tape that's currently here. Piece of tape there. And we have a piece of tape actually up in here somewhere. Up in here. And I have a piece of tape there. So we're going to measure the distances between here, here, here and there. I'm going to write all these measurements down, and then we know what we're going to do when we cut it out. Hopefully you can see that. I'll probably need to do another measurement. I'll need to measure obviously this distance here, and the same on, you know, this distance here. So we're going to take all those measurements and we'll go from there. So we'll do the full measurement across, but what we'll do is go from the half out and check both sides. Okay, so that's done. I don't have, sorry. Hey guys, let me sit down here. So, it's getting a bit late on Sunday now. I've done a bit more work on the shed out there, so slightly different jobs. Hopefully we'll get some time on Tuesday to come and cut that piece of wood out and fit it in. Then what we've got to start worrying about, and the next thing, actually what I might measure off straight now actually, sorry, I forgot something. I want to measure the heights off here because we'll stick some uprights in. We'll stick an upright in the middle as well, somewhere, because what we want to do is really seal off that subwoofer. We don't want any air escaping from the back, except we may also port it, but we'll work out a way of porting that. Probably port it out the front. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get it out the back here, but we'll see. We may port it out the front. Yet to decide on that, but we really don't want the air to be immediately be able to come out the port. It should have to sort of bounce, come back and sort of try and soak out before it gets out. So if we've got the subwoofer in, flat, air is going to get pushed down into that cavity and bounce back up again. So it may pay to port it up top, but that's just somewhere for bits and crap to fall into. So I would work out a way of sort of tubing it so that it goes out there, but it's not directly in by the speaker. So we might just wrap this one up now. So we've got the front speakers in pretty much. Obviously you need to get some speaker cable to wire that back, to run that back into here. Not looking forward to that task, getting the cable through from the doors, but it'll get done. Then once we've cut this piece of wood, we'll start planning out where the uprights need to go, how we seal it off. We'll get that, and we'll have to work out how. Probably most of it will be glued in place, to be honest. There are some areas where we might be able to screw stuff in, but I don't want to just randomly start drilling holes in the chassis. So we'll find another way of holding it in, but it'll be fairly weighty piece, which after lightening up all underneath, why am I adding more weight? But again, this car's not specifically track at the moment. This is just a general project car to see, just to do some things that I like to do and to kind of showcase some of that stuff, I guess. Right, so anyway, I'm going to go measure this, but again, it'll be the end of the video, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Yeah, see you in the next one.